Hi all. So this is part 6, and it'll be the final part of this fast factoring segment that I put together for you. Now if you look at this one, I've got 3 times the quantity of z plus 2 quantity squared minus 19 times the quantity of z plus 2 and plus 6. This one's a little different from any that we've seen before. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this, okay? So the first way, I'm going to call that the longer way. So I've got 3 times the quantity of z plus 2 quantity squared minus 19 times z plus 2 and then plus 6. You know, so you're taking a final exam or something like that, and you're looking at this, and you know, in an exam situation, it's a little more stressful. So you do what the first thing comes to mind is. And for a lot of people, that would be to multiply this out. So before I say it, I'm going to say, don't do this. Where people will say, oh, 3z plus 6 quantity squared. And then so on and so forth. Okay, no. You don't want to distribute that 3 through, okay? If you do it this way, what you want to do is take the z plus 2 times the z plus 2. So you want to multiply out that binomial times the binomial, okay? Leave the 3 there for now. So that'll be z squared plus first outers, inners, last. So z squared plus 2z plus 2z plus 4. And then minus the 19 times the 2 plus z plus 2, excuse me, plus the z. And then we'll combine these guys together. So 3 times the quantity of z squared plus 4z plus 4. That's all I did on that step. Now I'll distribute that 3 through, and I'll distribute the negative 19 through. So we're looking at 3z squared plus 12z plus 12 minus 19z minus 38 plus 6. Okay? Now at this point, what we're going to do is combine like terms. So I've got my 3z squared, and I've got 12z minus 19z, that's a negative 7z, right? Now let me do my constant terms. I've got my 12 minus 38, let's see, what is that, negative 26. Negative 26 plus 6 would be a negative 20 if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, negative 26 plus 6 is negative 20. So we get down to this trinomial, which you will then, I'm going to do the little x thing. 3 times 1 is 3. As for the 20, I'm going to go with the 5 times 4. One of them's got to be negative, so I'll make the 4 negative. 3 times negative 4 is a negative 12. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 minus 12 is going to be that negative 7. So I know I've got my factors right, so my answer here is going to be 3z plus 5, and then that's x, z minus 4, and that's going to be my answer there. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is driving me nuts taking this approach, okay? In my opinion, there's a faster way. Let me hit pause, and then I'll continue this faster way. All right, so let's look at this faster way now, okay? Here's what to notice. See how you have a z plus 2 here and here? I'm going to do this thing called what I like to call u-substitution. I'm going to let u equal the z plus 2, okay? So I'm going to replace these z plus 2's with the u. So we're looking at 3u squared minus 19u plus 6. So this whole u-substitution thing, the advantage that it has is it helps you factor a little quicker, simplifies things down a little bit. So we're going to take a look. I've got my 3 times 1 is 3. For the 6, ooh, you know what? Normally I would say go with factors close together, but I got to get clear up to 19. And I know that if I put 6 here, that 3 times my 6 will get to 18, which is close to 19. So I'll put 6 and 1. That's basically what I'm after. And since the 6 is positive and the 19 is negative, I'm going to have both my 1 and my 6 both be negative, right? Negative 6 times negative 1 is a positive 6. And this is negative, so these guys both will be negative. So it's 3 times negative 6, like I said, that's negative 18. 1 times negative 1 is a negative 1. You add them together, you'll get the negative 19 that we're after. So my factors at this point are going to be 3u minus 1 and then u minus 6. Okay, but I'm not done yet. And people that do this on my test, they kind of mess this up at this point. They'll say, oh, that's my answer. And if it's a multiple choice test, which I tend to do, I put that in there and they circle it and they get it wrong. All right, we need to put the z plus 2 in there. We started with z, we need to end with z. So I'll put those guys in. So now we're looking at 3 times the z plus 2 minus 1 for the first factor. And the other factor will be z plus 2 minus 6. Okay? So I'll distribute my 3 through here. That's 3z plus 6 minus the 1. And I'll leave this other one just as it is, and won't change it yet. So all I did on this step here was I just distributed my 3 through. Now I'll combine my terms. So 6 minus 1 is 5. This factor will then be 3z plus 5. This factor will be z minus 4. That one's done. So in my opinion, it's a little faster factoring this way than the other way that we just did. But for some of you, it might not be. You might like that first way, okay? So maybe I should do this. And say faster way with a question mark? Because it may or may not be. All right, now I said there were 6 parts to this video. This guy's already gone almost 8 minutes. So I'm going to have to make this 7 parts because I want to do this last problem over here. So let me pause, let me close this one out, and we'll look at a part 7 to this.